Hello everyone, GenmaTheSamurai here, and welcome to this brand new Let's Play of Metroid Prime. Oh man, so it's actually been a while since I played a Metroid game on the channel last. I'm gonna press start real quick just so it doesn't loop into the intro thing. I don't want to keep some of that stuff a surprise. But anyways, yeah, so it's been a while since I played a Metroid game last. God, I love this title screen. It's so freaking iconic and like unique, and I don't know, it's really cool. It's like inside of a Metroid. It's really weird looking, but anyways, for those of you who don't know, a very long time ago I did a Let's Play of this game. It was my first Let's Play with a capture card. Now, I was pretty proud of my run of the game. I was able to get things very efficiently, and I think I did a good job showcasing the game as a whole. But there were a couple things that kind of held it back. One, it was one of my earlier playthroughs, so I don't think my commentary was quite the best. And two, a pretty big thing related to that is I didn't have my modern microphone. In fact, I was using a laptop microphone, so the quality was not that great. So I decided, in honor of a brand new Metroid Prime game that got announced last year, I'm going to choose to go through the Prime Trilogy on the channel. Now, I'm probably not going to marathon it for a lot of reasons, just in terms of game availability and all that kind of stuff, but either way, I am excited to get into this. So, I'm going to select New Game, and first things first, I'm going to go into Options, make sure that the hint system is turned off, because I just want to play it without it. I already know how to get through this game, but yeah, I'm going to choose Hard Mode, and yeah, we're gonna get into this. This is one of my favorite games of all time, and I hope you guys enjoy. And if you've never seen the game before, well, you're in for a fun ride, so join me. Here we go. Alright guys, so here we are into the game. So, one thing I want to say as a bit of context for this game before we really delve into it. So, when this game was released, it was at the end of I want to call it a dark age of Metroid game releases. Basically, after Super Metroid came out and got really crazy acclaim back on the Super Nintendo, Metroid just kind of went quiet for a very long time, and it wasn't until this game got announced for the Gamecube that, you know, Metroid started showing up again. Now, released the same time was Metroid Fusion, and so for fans who wanted more 2D Metroid action, they actually got that as well as a brand new 3D representation of the original game. So, one thing that is kind of crazy is it went from a side-scroller to a first-person shooter, and there was a lot of people that had problems with it. Hello. There were a lot of people that had problems with it at the time. In fact, there were some people that were like, "What? Why first-person shooter? Are you trying to be like Call of Duty, all that kind of stuff?" Well, and so there certainly were a lot of conversation. Gosh, that's such a nice touch. So the thing that blew everyone's mind was just how good this game was. Now, for me personally, I wasn't necessarily on that hype train. In fact, this was like my second Metroid game. My very first Metroid game was, in fact, Metroid Fusion. However, one thing that I really loved about this game was just like the atmosphere and like just how fun it was to kind of explore. A lot of the time, this game kind of reminds me of Zelda in terms of like, you know, exploring and solving puzzles and doing stuff. I really like that. But honestly, this game is kind of an amazing representation of 2D Metroid in 3D, and it's just super cool. But either way, hello. So that's a little bit of a tutorial to tell you to go into Morph Ball and just slide right on in there. Hello. So one thing about this game, for a while I was under the impression that you needed to have like every single scan to be able to get 100% ending. It turns out you only need to get all of the items in the game to get said endings. However, I'm going to try and get all of the scans anyway. Hello. Parasitic infestation has been detected in the ventilation systems of decks Gamma and Beta. 2 Parasite Queen specimens have become volatile on deck Beta. All security personnel should report to the biotech research area. Frigate exterior hull stable and fully functional. Talon IV ground zero area secure. Crater radiation readings normal. Okay then. So, yeah, one thing about this game that I thought was really cool is that they implemented, you know, a scan feature that allows you to kind of read information about your environment and kind of like figure out, you know, what's going on at any given moment. Now, there's some more important scans than others. I'll go into that in a bit. But it's still a really cool tool for, like, you know, if you want to figure out some of the world building and stuff. Specimen containment breach on deck Beta. All crew report for lockdown. Okay. So let's go in here. Be sure not to get electrocuted. And boom. Hello. Morphology unknown. Low life signs detected. Oh. Creature appears to be in a state of stasis hibernation. Gotcha. Okay, so one thing that's interesting, as you can kind of tell, so right now we are in a space pirate ship. If you don't know who the space pirates are, essentially they're kind of the villains of the Metroid series in a way. Now there's some more important people within the space pirates that you might know, such as Ridley or Mother Brain. Though Mother Brain is definitely way more relevant to the 2D Metroids. I don't know if Mother Brain is really even mentioned in Prime, but yeah. After mutation, the carapace of the larva becomes rigid. The carapace is quite resilient, able to resist the attacks of many predators. Combat mutation applications are complete. The primary legs of this creature possess galvanized tips, allowing it to penetrate any known alloy. Yikes. Okay. But yeah, so in terms of like this game, it's actually timeline-wise placed between Metroid 1 and Metroid 2. Now recently, Metroid 2 got a remake on the 3DS called Samus Returns, or, you know, if you play on PC, there's a fan remake of it called AM2R, which I also really recommend. Anyways, real quick. Space Pirate encrypted data decoded. Log 9.992.3. Zebes has fallen. All ground personnel are presumed dead, either killed by the hunter clad in metal or in the subsequent destruction of the underground facilities. Our research frigates Orpheon, Cyriacus, and Volparagon were in orbit at 0 hour and managed to retreat. Frigate Orpheon is now docked at Vortex Outpost. Orpheon's cargo appears to have a 100% survival rate. Metroids are healthy but on restricted feeding schedules due to uncertain supply status. We are ready to begin research on the Metroids and other promising life forms. Security status remains at Code Blue. No signs of pursuit from the hunter. Yep. So, to elaborate on that a little bit, Zebes is the planet from Metroid 1 and is actually the homeworld of Samus. If you guys want to see stuff on that in a little more detail, I honestly suggest you check out my playthrough of Metroid Zero Mission. I did play every single 2D Metroid on the channel, and it was a very fun experience, and so, hello. Well, I'm gonna scan that real quick. Specimen solitary holding 1, phazon level unknown. Status, xenotropic lifeform unstable, use caution. You can tell from the preview, by the way, that's a creature from the 2D games. Now, you never run into that in this game, but it's a fun little Easter egg for Metroid fans who recognize those things. They're very common enemies within Norfair. So, okay. So anyways, one thing that I do really like about this is that they took advantage of, you know, the fact that you're fighting a bunch of these wounded space pirates to essentially make them very good tutorial enemies. So right back there you had one that was lying on the ground, so you learned to kind of like dodge the bullets. Then you have one that's moving, so you're dealing with a moving enemy, and then a faster moving enemy right here. It's just kind of like little subtle game design, but I don't know. It's really good. But anyways, gosh, this intro sequence is the most iconic freaking thing. So like, when I say that this game is one of my favorite games ever, I do mean it's like one of my favorite games. I think really, I think I said it earlier, but like, you know, it's right behind Ocarina or Majora for me. I go back to this game like all the frickin' time, and I just know it like the back of my hand. Downside to it is, you know, I don't get as immersed as I used to with the game, which is unfortunate, but gosh, I just love it. I don't know. Anyways, so there we go. I knew about that guy. Okay, so one thing I find funny and convenient for us is that they have these like sphere-related doors, so you need to put like a sphere into a lock to open them. Like, what if they didn't have that? I would probably be kind of screwed in terms of getting in here. But okay, boom. Alright, so let me charge up a charge shot because that does quite a bit of damage. But yeah. So, one thing a lot of you guys may have noticed is that I am playing this game on the GameCube version, and you might be wondering, like, Genma, why? And I don't know. I really like the GameCube version, and I feel most people play the trilogy version, so it'll make it stand out a little more, but even then, I like this version a lot. There's a lot of perks to it. Like, I think some of the animations are a little bit better, and in general, I think the challenge is a little more there in this version, just because this is what the game was originally built around, you know? Oh, frick. I just wanted to grab a missile expansion, dang it. Ah, okay, well, let's open the door again. But yeah, I don't know. Well, either way, here we go, guys. No life signs detected. Oh, there's one right here. Okay, let me scan that. Analysis detects large amounts of blood missing from the carcasses. These bodies have been drained for nourishment, pattern consistent with predator behavior. Hello, Parasite Queen. So, those of you who have played Smash Bros. Brawl, you know what this thing is, or you might have seen it in the background, one of the stages. Honestly, this thing is pretty easy. Let me read the scan real quick. Boop. Alright. Morphology, Parasite Queen. Parasite female. Genetically enhanced by unknown means. A weak spot has been detected in this creature's mouth. Use your auto-targeting to acquire this new target. Scans indicate the presence of a potent mutagen, origins unknown. Creature exhibits the ability to fire weapon-grade blasts of energy from its mouth, a trait not present in the standard parasite genome. It appears the pirates have begun a bioengineering program with considerable results. Oh gosh. So actually, I think, like, these scans, of course, were probably somewhat written by Samus or something, the way that they're written, which I find kind of a neat touch. Samus is, like, it's kind of weird because Samus is, like, a sorta silent protagonist. You know, she does, like, on occasion kind of talk, but most of the time they kind of leave a lot of, you know, her feelings about what's going on, like, you know, up to interpretation for the player, which I really like that, unlike a certain Metroid game, but I won't really hang on that. Either way, boom. So that's the first boss, really easy. So, the boss just kind of fell into the reactor core, so I guess you guys know what's going on if you know what kind of game this is. You can't have a Metroid game without an escape sequence, but yeah, here we go. So, anyways, we gotta go. One thing that I do really like about this game is that, like, I've heard some people kind of criticize the game for it, but one big thing that this game had to do at the time is that, you know, it had to represent a Metroid in 3D, and so one of the big things it had to take inspiration from, of course, was had to take inspiration from Super Metroid. And Super Metroid, you know, if you saw that game, it similarly kind of starts on a spaceship, but they kind of took that and kicked it up to the next level, which I find kind of cool. Either way, here we go. Oop. Gosh. I think one of my favorite things about this game is kind of like the art design. Like, it's crazy that this game on the GameCube from like years ago, like, still visually holds up. Like, I think a reason, say, Wind Waker tends to hold up a lot in people's eyes is because of, like, you know, the cartoony art style. And while this isn't cartoony, I think this kind of shows, like, a really strong art style, no matter what, can really, you know, stand the test of time. And, you know, this game has, like, a very, like, more realistic feel to its art style, but I feel like it has held up so much more than a lot of games with a realistic art style. I don't know. But I think, like, one of the cool touches about this game is it really makes you feel like you are Samus. So, like, when you walk into fog and junk, you just kind of fog up your visor. I don't know, it's cool. Either way. Gosh. Alright, we need to get out of here. Uh-oh. Well, gotta go this way. Huh? Oh, Rook's out. Alright, let's go. Like, gosh, these things are freaking creepy. But, yeah. I don't know, this game is just, like, one of my favorites, like, ever. But, yeah. Gosh, we need to get out of here quick. We only got, like, 5 minutes. I think something that's cool is that it's taking me on a pathway outside of, like, the normal one. So, like, you have no idea how close you actually are to the end. You just know you gotta keep moving forward. That's cool. Jeez. Gosh. I'm sorry, I've just gotta take it in the atmosphere a little bit. Oh gosh. Okay, well, that just happened. Just follow that real quick. I don't think that can kill you, but I think it will push you back. So you want to make sure to keep following it so you don't get, like, you know, too delayed. Because you are on a time limit, don't get me wrong. Well, I think you guys know who that was. Anyways, yeah. Hey, Riddles. How you doing? Alright, so we gotta move. Yeah. Oh, I guess something. You guys should check out my friend Snivy. He did a blind playthrough of this game on the trilogy version, which is really cool. Anyway. So, what just happened was we just lost most of our abilities, which is super annoying, but what can you do? But yeah, my friend Snivy was playing the game for the first time, so if you guys want to watch someone experience the beauty of this game, seriously, go check it out. It was a very fun playthrough. It was one of my favorites of his. But yeah, so we gotta wait for the room to depressure before we can open the door. So let's move along. Well, at least we're almost out. But gosh, this ship has definitely seen better days. After that jive metal pterodactyl. Gosh, this intro. I'm feeling it, guys. I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it hitting me. I love this game. I don't know. Okay, that's a little jaggy and old, but I don't know, I like it. And this is when you knew you were in for an adventure. But yeah, anyways, without further ado, guys, I want to thank you guys for tuning into this part of Metroid Prime. Alright, hopefully it wasn't too short, but I want my parts to be a little bit on the shorter side for this playthrough. This is still one of my favorite games of all time, and legit, I'm excited to get this going. So thank you guys for tuning in, and I will see you guys in the next part where we head that way. So, see you guys then. Bye!